Days of Fright Horror Movie Project, Year 4.
Welcome to the Two-Ton Nerds. As always, my name is Max James. It's October 13th, 2015, which means it's day 13 of the 31 Days of Fright Horror Movie Project, Year 4. And the movie for today is Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. Now, my initial reaction after the movie ended was good. I liked this movie. I fully enjoyed it. It kept my interest all the way through, but it did have a few confusing elements like the previous movie. But it didn't have as many as confusing moments as as Hellbound Hellraiser 2 did. But this one did have just like one or two moments that didn't really like connect. Was like, what is actually going on? It kind of, I must have missed something, but it just didn't transfer well on screen or whatever was going on. So I'm going to tell you what you need to know about this movie. And first up is the plot. The plot of the movie has two plot lines. We've got the A plot, which follows this reporter trying to track down this lead after an incident in the hospital where this patient was rushed in with chains attached all over to his body, and the inevitable happens, and he ends up getting torn to pieces. And the girl who brought this kid in, they kind of spark a friendship, and they kind of help each other kind of find out what's going on, because the girl who has helped the guy get to the hospital, she actually helped the B plot character get this piece of art, which is the Pillar of Souls. And that's where the B plot comes into play, where this Playboy nightclub owner, he buys this piece of art that has the pinhead carved into it. Basically, that's what it looks like, and as well as the puzzle box kind of in the pillar as well. But that's what happened with the patient who ended up having the chains attached to him. He actually broke the puzzle box off and started playing with it, and that's what happened. And then the Playboy owner noticed it was missing, and he ends up cutting himself somehow and bleeds all over the Pillar of Souls, which, as we know in the previous two movies, blood brings the dead back to life from hell. And since Pinhead is trapped in this Pillar of Souls, he kind of starts to come to life again. That's who needs to be revived. In this movie is Pinhead. But we learn that this isn't the Pinhead from the previous two movies. This is just Pinhead the monster. There's no humanity in him, because, spoiler, during the Hellbound Hellraiser 2, there was a scene where the doctor who became a Cenobite kills off the Pinhead, Butterball, the Chattering Teeth, and the female Cenobite in one fell swoop. I mean, he was like, whew, all gone. But before he killed Pinhead, he kind of transferred him back into human form, which kind of released his soul, basically. So then Pinhead and his humanity are very different, are separated. And so that's what was going on. And the Playboy owner also kind of lures women up there, and he slowly becomes Pinhead, finally being able to escape the Pillar of Souls and whatever. And once he finally does, chaos, hell on earth. I mean, it's pretty cool. But that's really all I can explain, because I don't want to spoiler this movie for this particular movie. But there is a few things that's very confusing about this movie, because our main character, the new reporter, she kind of goes in and out of this dream world, where she's having this dream about her dad dying in Vietnam, and then as well as she's kind of transported into another world where Elliot Spencer, which is Pinhead's real name, is in his army uniform, which is pretty cool. And he explains that there's just the Pinhead monster and him that need to be combined once again, or hell will be unleashed on Earth for good. So And that's what her plot is, as well as kind of started off investigating, but kind of moved into saving the world, basically, which is pretty cool. And there's some really good gory moments in this movie, like full-fledged gory moments. You got this nightclub. Pinhead just goes nuts on all the patrons on this place, and it's really cool. He just unleashes the chains and manipulates various objects into killing people, which is actually pretty cool. And then this is where I kind of dislike. I wish somehow the Cenobites from the previous movie was brought back to life to help him. So, but since that didn't happen, he had to make his own Cenobites, which came off very Borgish. From Star Trek, and which I didn't really pick up on that until I started reading it. I kind of read a synopsis, read in detailed analysis online, as I always do after I watch a movie, and to see if what I thought actually matched up with other people's. And sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised on some people's thinking about stuff. I'm like, oh, I totally see that, and then next time I watch it, I see it. But I totally didn't pick up on how Borg they looked, because they did look like very like the Hive collective of the Borg Empire. So I didn't see that, but I definitely see it now, and it didn't feel very Cenobite-ish after I kind of like recalled what they look like, because he got one with a camera because he was the cameraman, and one he was a DJ so he could throw CDs and stuff like that. Then one became the new female Cenobite, and one I'm not quite sure what he was, and one of them was a bartender, so he had a flamethrower ability and stuff like that. So I mean, like, they were cool ideas, but they just came off too Borgish. And what's really funny is our main character actually is one of the main characters in Star Trek Voyager. I do believe that's the one she's in. So overall, I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed it. I really did. So I'm going to tell you my rating scale. For 1 is run-of-the-mill horror, 2 best watch with the group, 3 more than average horror but adds nothing new to the horror genre, 4 helps move the horror genre forward, and 5 being a horror classic. And once again, this movie is a 3. This movie is just it's more than average horror because it gives depth to characters. It has some great gory moments. It has a pretty decent storyline. Not too bad, even though it kind of is repetitive from the previous 2 movies. You know, the blood bringing someone back from the dead and feeding victims to revive them. But other than that, it's a decent movie, nice installment in the horror franchise of this of the Hellraiser films. So that's really all I gotta say for now. I think tomorrow will be Hellraiser 4. I'm just gonna run through them all because I decided that the week leading up to Halloween will be more Halloween themed movies, so I'm going to try to get through these movies as quickly as possible. So as always, my name is Max James, and I'm going to go geek out.